Hello, my name is Andrew Griffin, and I'm a bankruptcy lawyer in the San Diego area. And today I would like to talk to those who are too proud to file bankruptcy. Again, if you have questions, go ahead and give me a call. Give me a call at the number that's listed above. Most persons who with debt problems are at least initially highly resistant to the idea of filing for bankruptcy. Filing Chapter 7 or Chapter 13 is often viewed as taking the easy way out, or looked at as a good way to ruin one's future credit rating, or as a moral failing best to be avoided. These viewpoints, combined with financial stress and inability to pay one's obligations, often results in a great deal of stress on persons considering bankruptcy. The fact is that people do have pride, and no one wants to file bankruptcy if it can be avoided. As a result, most consumer bankruptcies are filed by persons who have been bothered by collection phone calls or even lawsuits by creditors. As a result, bankruptcies usually are filed when there is no reasonable alternative except asking the bankruptcy court for relief. Does this mean a person who gives up his or her pride by choosing to file bankruptcy? For most, it might be useful to consult one's own sense of what is most important obligations to honor. If a person must choose between the obligation to support one's family and the obligation to pay the payments on their credit cards, it might be most reasonable to decide in favor of supporting one's family. After all, who will support the family if not the primary wage owner? Probably no one, which would have a huge impact on their lives. But Mr. Visa or Ms. MasterCard will not go hungry if you don't pay them. Remember, not all debts are dischargeable in bankruptcy. Not all property can always be protected, and not all persons can file just any type of bankruptcy they desire to file. Instead, Congress has made valuable judgments. They value judgments based on human morality, and it put those moral concepts into the federal bankruptcy laws. Congress has already performed the moral calculations regarding who comes first, the creditors or the family of the debtor who files bankruptcy. This might be all you need to consider. Our representatives have already enacted bankruptcy laws balancing the need of a debtor to support his family as compared to the need of types of creditors to get paid back. You don't have to make those moral judgments since they have already been made for you. Additionally, the debtor has to pass a need-based means test to file Chapter 7, and a debtor has to pay back what he can afford in Chapter 13. Furthermore, not all debts are dischargeable in bankruptcy. Congress decided that some creditors deserve to get paid no matter whether the debtor can afford to pay the debt or not. For example, you still have to pay the mortgage even if you file bankruptcy. The law states that such a debt either be paid or the house goes back to the bank, whether or not you have filed bankruptcy. Or income tax. After 3 years, back taxes are dischargeable on the rationale that the IRS must not have cared too much about the tax debt if they couldn't collect the money over that period of time. And child support. Child support cannot be discharged in bankruptcy. It has been determined that the debtor's obligation to pay to support his children and the children's need for the money to live on overrides a debtor's need to be free from that type of debt. Many people agonize about repaying their credit card debt, but laws were made that credit cards and similar debts are dischargeable when a bankruptcy is filed. The point is that the bankruptcy laws were enacted by balancing competing interests. And Congress resolved those interests in the bankruptcy laws by considering the morality of each of those choices. Remember that these considerations have already been taken into account when considering whether filing bankruptcy is the right thing to do. When struggling with the decision of whether to file bankruptcy, don't feel the need to decide between right or wrong, all by yourself just because only your family's needs as a standard to guide you. Our bankruptcy laws are enacted by our lawmakers. They've already contained a moral standard derived through a consideration of what responsibilities there are. If you have questions about bankruptcy, or if you feel like you're too proud to file bankruptcy, call me. Call me at the number below or click on the link below, and we'll be happy to provide you with more information. My name is Andrew Griffin, and I wanted to help you through the financial burdens that you feel.